Have you ever received backlash or being told that you were selfish just because you decided to take care of yourself? If yes, watch this video. Welcome to Conscious Matters. I'm Melissa. On this channel, I'm talking about conscious living through self-empowerment and holistic wellness, and especially mental health. Let's get into selfishness. Selfishness is definitely a negative and destructive trait, especially as human, part of a collective. It's all about scarcity mindset, jealousy, and being in a fearful mindset, to be honest. Like, you think and you feel that what you have to keep it for you, like the little 𝗊𝗵𝗹𝗄𝗃 from 𝘊𝗵𝗶𝗀𝗄 or something like that, and not being aware that all around you is full of abundance and you're resourceful, so everything that you share, it's fine because you will always have enough and you always have more. But that's how I view selfishness. But apparently some people believe that taking care of yourself and your self-love and your self-care is being selfish. So that's what I want to demystify here, or at least break down. One thing that makes me a little bit cringe, but at the same time that intrigues me a lot, is that we live in a society that completely point fingers towards people who are selfish and really make it the worst thing on earth, like people being selfish and individualistic. When in fact, especially in the Western world, we live in a society that is hugely individualistic and completely centered around self. Capitalism being probably the main cause of that. So on one hand, by Western society standards, selfishness is bad, it's terrible, it's you cannot do that. And on the other hand, with the same Western society standards, is when you keep it for yourself and you only think about you and eventually your own family and not your whole community, your whole nation, the whole continent, the whole world. Like, it's not, or even like, it's not even just us humans, it's just like the earth, the animals and all of that, but it's being individualistic, or at least thinking about you and your family, your own cocoon. So why am I saying all of that? Why? Because I want to make the distinction between self-care and selfishness. Self-love is the best kind of love. I did a whole podcast episode on that, about the magical power of self-love, where I actually explained the distinction between self-love and self-care, and I also did other episode on self-love and other episodes that are not specifically about self-love but touches upon that. So you can check that out somewhere here, or at least in the description box. That's for sure. I don't know where it will be on the screen. So self-care, we kind of all know now what is it about, because people are much more vocal about it, which is absolutely amazing. But to go a little bit deeper, it's really about connecting to yourself, to your inner child, to what makes you feel good, to ground yourself to, because we live in such a fast-paced society that grounding yourself is essential. So of course it's about taking a bath, enjoying nice music, a walk in the park, dance classes, yoga, whatever that makes you feel good. But it's also about diving deep within, like journaling, meditation, and all of that help you not only to love yourself, but to nurture yourself and care for yourself. Just like a mom will care for a child. So that's my view on self-care, is like caring for yourself as if you were your own mother, who will love you unconditionally. But as I was saying before, according to Western society standard, being selfish is also bad. So you're not supposed to take care of yourself, take time for yourself, saying no to invitations, to put yourself first in a way. So at the end of the day, this dichotomy is very strange, but I think the real difference between selfishness and self-care is down to intent. If you decide to take something or do something just for your own selfish reasons, because you fear for there won't be enough, you're mistrusting of others. But if you decide to take something or to do something with the intent to feel better, to explore it, to grow from it, to expand from it, in order to then share whatever you've learned with your community, then no, it's not selfishness, it's more self-exploration. And sometimes, I would say even most of the time, to self-explore, there are moments that you will need to be by yourself, that you will need to put yourself first, you will need to dig deep in order to reach your own essence, so you can then like take everything up and be able to take the lessons and share them with others. To me, the goal of self-care is truly reconnecting with our own self of self. The more you know yourself, the more you love yourself, the more you will become the version of you desire the most. The highest version of yourself. I would even say the healthier version of yourself, the one stripped from traumas, from conditioning, from fears to a certain extent. And by loving yourself and truly taking care of yourself, that's when you start honoring your being, honoring your gifts, and embracing, or at least trying to figure out why you were brought onto the earth for. And the more you care of yourself, the more you'll be able to take care of others, because you will know how to healthily take care of someone. If it doesn't start with yourself, with who does it start with? My own journey to self-care took a little bit of time, to not say a long time, but I eventually got there. I used to be an overgiver, people pleaser, a fixer, yes, savior, archetype syndrome. Taking other people's problems as my own and trying to fix people when they didn't even want to fix themselves or better themselves or whatever. So this is not healthy, codependent, and all of that. So being like that is great for other people because they get everything that they need without making any effort. But you, on the other hand, you end up giving more energy than you receive, and you emptying your own cup, and you actually like digging into the trenches to give like a little bit more water to give them, or a little bit more energy. And that eventually end up giving you so many life lessons, and sometimes harsh ones, but which eventually make you switch your perspective and look in the mirror and realize it's not the fault of others, it's also your own behavior. Like, why do you give so much? Why do you try to people please? Why are you trying to fix or take the burden of other people on your own shoulders when you're not even in the equation? So asking yourself all of these questions, and when I say you, I'm talking about me, asking myself all of these questions helped me to dig deeper and understand where this behavior was coming from, what kind of trauma and bad experiences or past experiences that were not the best kind of frame my own behavior into that mold, and how can I actually remodel myself, because I was at a point where it was really not healthy for me to embody this version of me and carry on walking like that in the world, because it was more destructive than anything. So that shifted my perspective, and that helped me to go into my own journey of self-love and self-care. And that truly has been key for literally everything that happened and is happening in my life right now. So I decided to put myself first. I decided to put my own happiness first, and actually making a deal and an unbreakable promise with myself, like pinky swear with myself, that I will never ever give up on myself ever again. Like, I will never put my needs on the back burner or in the back seat, because despite how much we want to nurture people, we want to be there for them, we feel like it's easier for us than for them to do certain things that can unburden them. So we like very willing and happy to take the burden off of their shoulders. Taking their problems as our own and fix them is not serving anyone. It's not serving you as a person, because this is not your own issue that you have to deal with. Maybe they have some lessons to learn with this issue, plus For them, it's also not sustainable to always have someone coming into your life and trying to fix whatever mistake you've made. It's not responsible, it's not sustainable, and you're not learning the lesson that you're supposed to learn with that issue, whatever it might be. So it's not serving anyone. And one thing that I've also learned is through this self-love, self-care journey, is to set up healthy and very strong boundaries. It has been massively helpful, if not the catalyst of it all, like the inner work and deeper healing, because this huge realization that is so evident, so simple, so just in front of us, but sometimes there is like this huge veil that we cannot see what's in front of us. And that realization is you cannot pour from an empty cup. As simple as that. Let's say you have a glass of water. Your glass is empty. Your child, your husband, your whatever, like your friend, your mom, asks you for water, but your glass is empty. What are you able to pour into the glass? Nothing. Even though you have little droplets in your little glass, you're gonna give them the little droplets. But what happened when you are thirsty? So that realization was like, oh my God, yes. Just like they say in the plane, you're supposed to put your oxygen mask first and then helping your neighbor. Even though it's your child, you're supposed to put your own first so you can live in order to help the other person. But it's not the other way around. The mask of the child or whoever is next to you, and then you just die in the process. Especially if you're someone who wants to help, who wants to guide others, or wants to just be a helping hand, as big or small of a scale it is, you need to have an overflow in your own cup so you can give in abundance and still being good within yourself. That's why now in my life, I have a huge and big focus on self-care, especially taking care of my mental health, physical health, spiritual health. It's like this holistic wellness. It's true. It's life-saving. It's everything, to be honest. And I know I'm not alone in this journey. I know that many of us are struggling with that or have struggled with that in the past. But I'm proud to be committed to myself and to see so many other people trying to commit to themselves or already on the same journey as me, committing to their own selves. Because it takes a lot of bravery. It takes a lot of bravery because going back to what I was saying at the beginning, according to society standards, at least Western society standards, or even like the world, because Western society standards, yes, but also all of the other countries where it's very community-based. So I would say generally, as a common norm, selfishness is frowned upon. And committing to yourself, it means that you sometimes have to be a little bit selfish, but selfish with air quote, like selfish because you need to focus on yourself to better yourself so then you can like be able to give to others, not selfish in the sense like just like everything for me and that's it. So yeah, it does take a lot of bravery, a lot of backlash, a lot of criticism, a lot of haters, a lot of people who are not receiving what they used to receive also before, and they're feeling some type of way about that, which is understandable too, because when you're used to something and then suddenly you don't get it anymore, it's upsetting. Even though it's not fair, the situation was not fair, it's still upsetting. So by committing to ourselves, there is a part of responsibility that is huge. There is a responsibility of filling your cup first, which means to cater to your needs first so you can be an authority figure for your own self, which essentially means to be responsible for you so you can be fully responsible for everyone within your care. So I know the words embracing your ability to become the authority figure in your life. So you get to choose the future that you want, to choose the outcomes of your life and your desires. Choosing to prioritize your self-care because you cannot pour from an empty cup once again. And because we want to still help, because we still have this generous spirit, it's about coming from a place of abundance rather than a place of lack in order to love, care, and help and nurture other people, and that you don't get burned on both ends, yourself and your own sanity and your own health, and not depriving others from your wonderful energy. Prioritizing our own self-care might not have been something that we were taught to do, or we were not even given permission to do in previous parts of our lives, although it is something crucial to live a healthy life. And we're all striving for a happy, healthy life. I mean, I hope so. I am striving for that and taking action towards that. Our past struggles, our past traumas, our past harmful experiences are not our fault. That is, period. This is not our fault. However, it's our responsibility to manage how symptoms or any result that come from these traumas, like how we decide to show up in the world. This is our responsibility. This is on our shoulder. It's not our fault, but it's our responsibility. It's hard though, because we're conditioned a certain way, maybe through family, society, teachers, school, whatever. So it takes time. It takes some ego shifting. It takes some hard look in the mirror. But when we keep in mind that it's for our highest good, it's our own responsibility to do that, that we make an unbreakable promise to ourselves, it's possible. It's about taking it one day at a time, showing up for ourselves every day. Yes, we can take some rest, some breaks, but we gotta show up. We gotta keep on showing up. Advocating for our needs is by doing that we're able afterwards to stand up tall and to advocate for other people's needs, maybe family, friends, community, or even larger than that, to advocate for their own needs, to fight for a bigger cause. But without even doing that for yourself, like how reliable can you be? How can you be trusted or entrusted with other people's care, other people's needs, when you don't even take care of your own? How are you supposed to know how to do it well and efficiently and healthily? So self-love, this journey of self-love, this journey including self-care, has nothing to do with selfishness. Yes, it's around self. Yes, it's about taking time for your own self. Yes, sometimes it's about shutting yourself out from the world and being in hermit mode and doing the work by yourself. But it's that journey that allows the light of our soul to grow, to brighten the darkest part of ourselves, that allows us to transition from our wounded self to a healed self, or a little bit more healed than before. It increases our love, our wisdom, our creativity and compassion, because we start having self-love, we started having self-compassion, we start truly seeing our own abilities, our talents, our creativity, everything that we're able to do. And when you're able to see all of that within yourself, all of the world, everyone around you is just a mirror, and you can see that within them and encourage them and motivate them and support them. Self-care to me is about giving. It's about giving to self that opens the door to give so much to others. And the more you give any of that, maybe love, care, compassion, nurturing, and so many beautiful things, the more you give that to yourself, the more you understand its power, and that you're able to give to others the same quality. Because in the past, when you're not taking care of yourself and all of that, you're giving so much, but you're giving from an empty cup, so the quality is not there. If you're not present, you're not fully grounded within yourself, how can you be fully present for others? So you're being there, but you're not truly there. You know what I mean? So if you're not already doing that, which I doubt, but if you're not doing that, go take care of yourself and commit to your well-being, to spread goodness around you. Good vibes, baby. Good vibes. So if you want to explore more about the topic of self-love, of self-care, of self-improvement, self-empowerment, self-development, feel free to check out my podcast, Conscious Matters. I hope this video was helpful. I would love to know how you are taking care of your own self. Share that in the comments down below so we can all inspire each other. Maybe you have a technique that we don't know about and that we can use, and someone else can share their own technique, and to be able to all elevate each other, to support each other in this journey that can be very lonely, to not selfish, but it can be lonely. So we can inspire each other to take action, and then we can all share and experience together. Share whatever you want to share, even your own experience, and also to support this channel that is just starting out. So let's be friends with the YouTube algorithm. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share this video with others to help this channel to keep on spreading the word about conscious living through holistic wellness. Remember who you are, stay true, and let your soul lead the way. Take care of yourself.